Hi guys, in this video I'm going to be talking about how I went from being a struggling filmmaker who was really finding it hard to make ends meet to now, for the past 6 years, I've been working in this brand new industry and I've been having a lot of fun making immersive experiences. I've worked with people from all over the world, I've traveled, I've gotten to do lots of different interesting things. Every day is new and an adventure just because things are growing and developing so fast. I would just encourage anybody who has an interest in this technology to consider a career in this field. You might be somebody who's just finished education and you're thinking about what to do next. I'm glad you're here. I think this is a really good option for you. Or you might be somebody who's already established in another industry and you're looking to sidestep into this one. Either way, this video is for you. I hope you get some value from it. Let's get into it. When I was 14 years old, I decided that I wanted to be a filmmaker. This is what I was going to do with my life. I was going to make narrative feature films. And I've gotten to work in films. I've worked on a big budget production and I've made my own feature film for no money. And I've done lots of things in between. I've worked on commercials and web content. And while I really enjoy doing that, this is a very well-trodden career path. And I think there is a new path that has opened up that a lot of people aren't aware of. This became apparent to me when in 2015 a friend showed me a VR headset and I saw 360-degree video and the potential there. So I think it's very important to have your eyes open to new opportunities rather than having this laser focused path. I think that can be useful to get you started in your career, but it's important to really be a little bit flexible and adaptable. And I'm glad that I was, and I'm glad that I realized it at that point, because that's when I started to move into this career and this industry where there was a lot of demand and not a lot of supply. Just look at the potential here and look at the opportunity to do a lot of really interesting things that might take you a lot longer to achieve if you were to go down a very traditional route. I can't stress enough the importance of being proactive if you want to get into this industry. A lot of jobs don't necessarily exist until the person who would be doing the job arrives to do it, if that makes sense. So what I mean is that because the industry is going so quickly and companies are growing so fast, is that they might not be aware that they need you until you're there offering your skills and they can see the value in that. There really is just so much demand for talent in this industry, and for whatever reason it doesn't seem like there's enough people considering this a career option, which is really surprising to me given how rapidly this is growing and the forecasts that have been made for the value of this industry as a whole in the next 5 to 10 years. You might be thinking that the skills that you have, the industry you're working in now, does not really relate to this industry. Trust me, you have skills that are going to be relevant. You have something to offer and you are going to bring value. There are going to be transferable skills which are going to be applicable here too. As with anything in life, if you want to achieve any degree of success, you've got to give it everything you've got. And this industry is no different. If you want success in this industry, you need to give 110%. 100% is not going to be enough. And the reason for that is just everything's moving so quickly, you've got to stay ahead, you've got to stay on top of things. If you're coming in at entry level, you might be on minimum wage, and you might have heard people use the expression minimum wage, minimum effort. That is the wrong attitude. Forget that. Instead, think of added value, added compensation. If you put in more, if you're bringing more value to the company, you're going to be compensated for that. But on top of that, you're also going to be getting more value yourself. The more you put in, the more you get out, because there are so many opportunities to expand your role, learn new things, train and develop, and you should jump on it. From personal experience, I started out just shooting 360-degree video, but that's evolved over time to the point now where I run a team of people who make experiences, and that came about just through me asking questions, showing initiative, taking on extra projects, and really just having a passion for this stuff and being proactive with it. That goes back to my previous point, be as proactive as possible. The demand is there for these skills. I think you just need to go and get it. So the next thing you want to be doing is always learning. I didn't know how to do any of this before I started. It was not part of my formal education. I've just had to find the resources that help me figure out how to do my job. We've got Walt Disney Imagineering. There's definitely a lot of crossover here. It's not 100% relevant to this industry and making immersive experiences, but there's a lot of useful information here from years of engineering theme park rides. The Immersive Worlds Handbook, I think this is a very underrated book, but there's a lot of very valuable information in here about the theory of immersive experience design. This goes beyond just theme parks, and it looks at museums and art installations and just that wider world of immersive experiences. Theme park design, I think the first book on Imagineering is probably a good place to start. It's a little bit lighter, but if you like that and you want to get into something a bit heavier with more detail and more technical information, this is the next book to read. And Worlds of Wonder is just it's a great coffee table book, to be honest. It's just filled with lots of really cool case studies and little just snippets of information about making compelling immersive experiences. There are of course other books that I'll link in the description, books on the metaverse, the experience economy. I think that's a very valuable resource. And there's a good course on Udemy as well on theme park design. I know I've emphasized theme parks a lot here, but I really do think there is decades of experience there which is worth drawing on. And the point I want to end on is to just start today. Judging by the fact that you're still watching the video at this point, you're clearly interested in working in this industry. And the best time to start was 10 years ago, but the next best time to start is right now. Just look at the forecast for the metaverse. It's expected to be worth $5 trillion by the year 2030. So if you want a piece of that, you'll want to learn more about the metaverse, so I'd recommend taking a look at my video, which is a 10-minute crash course and hopefully answers some of your most common questions about the metaverse. So start today, be proactive, and good luck.